Hi everyone. Hi everyone. How are you doing? I am just checking on YouTube and on LinkedIn if I am live and audible. So LinkedIn and YouTube. YouTube first. I'm on YouTube. Yes. And LinkedIn, am I audible? So I'm really blessed because, of course, I was not planning to make it happen today. I was thinking, oh, there is my ReFrenchYourBrain marathon. And then what subject I would like to approach. But then I realized it's poems. So on LinkedIn, I am audible. So I'm going to take the next 30 minutes or so to quote two poems and then a special other one. But from now, if you are watching on the replay team, or if by chance you are watching live, welcome, welcome. So I was doing this marathon since more than 25, 30 days, I think. And sometimes it was smooth. Sometimes I was wrapping up 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So today is a special day, 22nd of March. 2 days ago was the World International Day of the International Day of French language. And yesterday it was the International Day of Poetry and of the Forest. But today is the International Day of Water. Water is so important. So today I'm going to extend the Poetry Day because as the Mother Tongue International Day was a few weeks ago, we are speaking the mother tongue 24/7, 365. As French language was yesterday, I am speaking French language 24/7, 365. Poetry in forest, probably not 24/7, 365, yet this is important for my mental health, both of that. And then also, let me know what are your thoughts. I also think that water, the day of water today, is, of course, the awareness about water. Yet it has been aware 24/7 and 365. I think the most period where we can avoid water is 3, 5, 7, 10 days, great maximum. But the thing is that we don't miss water. There is water. Probably the most difficult part is to go to the desert. Then sometimes we have to make provisions and to ensure that we have water for 10, 20, 30 days so that we can survive. And the animals, especially the animals in the desert, have the memory of where is the water. And this is vital for them. And water is also vital for us. Yet it's also the most vital to have pure water, drinkable water. Because if we are not missing water, having pure and drinkable water is less and less and less easy because there is the sea and because there is a pollution. So Water International Day is not only one day awareness, it's all the day. But today, if I am gathering to you, it's also because it's a special day, as each 22nd March. That was the case also 22nd March of last year, of 2023, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, up to this special day of 22nd March 2016. This special day on the 22nd March of 2016, I will always remember as this special day also of probably before. It was between 2012 and 2015, where was the attacks on the Bataclan in France. And as the 9/11, 23 plus years ago, with the attacks at New York. And the 22nd March 2016, at probably 9 a.m. or so, 9:30, I think, was two different attacks. One in the subway between Schumann and Arlois at Malbec, and at the airport of Zaventem, one of our two airports, probably more than two, but the main airport, Zaventem and Charleroi-Zuid, Charleroi-Sud. And so 22nd of March 2016, I was at job, and few minutes after I arrived at the job, 30 minutes later, was this SMS and message and information that there were two different bombings in Brussels. And so I will also remember this day because it's just an anecdote. But at that time, I was living outside of Brussels with my dad, and I had to take the train to go to work. And at that time, there was like a train that goes to a specific line and a train that goes to another line. And I was a bit distracted, and I was arriving to the wrong line, and ended without me paying attention to go to another station and had to get back on track to reach my job by any means. So I remember that because it was that particular day that happened, and that was probably the only time that happened to me. And so at that time, I realized that I was not taking the subway. Of course, it was probably at 8:30, 8:50. But imagine that was happening at 8:50, and I was in that subway when was happening the bombings. So I say to that because this is the 9th-year anniversary. 9 years ago was the Brussels bombings on the 22nd of March 2016. Then it was really difficult moment, and for many weeks, having the military quote unquote invading Brussels streets was very anxiogenic. So, not going to the details, but it was to set up the stage because 22nd March 2025, it's right now, and it's 9 years after the Brussels bombings day by day. And I say that also because I would like to pull some French. And so I have two poems to quote, two versions. So of these two poems, one in French, one in English, and then a kind of a prayer in French and in English. So in fact, you have three different texts, both in French and both in English. And the reason I chose this poem is that few weeks or few months after these bombings, I was meeting someone who became a dear friend, who sadly passed away more than 2 years ago to a heart attack. It was really also disheartening to see her go. And this person name is Dorothy Auger. And she shared something that I'm going to share right now. In fact, I was probably not willing to share, but I'm going to share at least a few, the 1 or 2 minutes of her video about her poem. So let me first share the poem and then her video. So her poem, she wrote the poem few hours after the bombings of Brussels 9 years ago, and because she was not having news from a friend, and sadly her friend passed away during the bombings. So going to quote the poem first in English and then in French, and let me know in the comments, whether you are live or on the replay, what are your thoughts. So the poem title is For Love. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. It was written on the 23rd March 2016, few hours after the bombing. And then there is the French. Je choisis l'amour. Je choisis l'amour, même le cœur lourd, même l'âme brisée. Je choisis l'amour parce que le monde est déchiré. Pas juste mon petit pays, où je suis plutôt en sécurité, où je suis plutôt bien, mais le monde tout entier, chaque jour. Je choisis l'amour et je puise dans sa lumière la force de rester debout pour transformer la violence et mettre fin aux guerres. Je choisis l'amour pour que nos enfants soient saufs, pour que nos amis soient à l'abri, pour que nos frontières s'ouvrent. Je choisis l'amour, même le cœur brisé, le cœur lourd, même l'âme brisée. And you see in the website dorothyauger.eu, there are multiple versions of the poem. Was first someone who was touched and decided to write it in Arabic. And then few hours, days, weeks, months later, other language follows, like in Spanish, Portuguese, Italian. Like I'm going to also quote it in Italian because Italian is also my fourth language that I learned 17 years ago. L'amore è la mia roccaforte, anche quando il cuore è greve e l'anima frantumata. L'amore è la mia roccaforte, perché il mondo è lacerato. Non solo il mio piccolo paese, dove io sono quasi al sicuro, dove io sto quasi, ma il mondo intero, ogni giorno. L'amore è la mia roccaforte, perché cura la violenza, senza fare altri morti, senza il potere dei forti, senza bombe. L'amore è la mia roccaforte. Così c'è i bambini cresciano al sicuro. Così c'è i nostri amici trovino così c'è le frontiere si aprano. L'amore è la mia roccaforte, anche quando il cuore è greve e l'anima frantumata. And that's a translation from Ilaria Vikelis from Italy, UK. Then there is also Spanish, some version, Spanish and Finnish and Chinese, Korean and Romanian, etc. Vietnamese. So I was realizing I was not sharing this screen, but I'm going to share the text anyway. That I was not sharing the screen, but I will share the text in the comments on LinkedIn and YouTube. So if you are watching live or on replay, let me know in the comment. That was the first part, the first poem, We Shall Stand for Love, from Dorothy Auger. And this is also very moving because few days and weeks ago, I was connecting with Jessica Dugas. And during the World Building Expo, she was reciting the poem of Dorothy. I was just there for 5 to 6 minutes. I was a bit like in a rush during the expo because I had also my booth and I had to be in my booth at that time. But the simple fact to see her in Go Brunch and to be in memory again with Dorothy, it was really moving my heart because Dorothy passed away more than 2 years ago. And because it was remembering also last year the passing of Jess, the passing of Odile, my dear friend, who I was seeing from time to time when she came from Britain to Genval to see Earth at that time, that I had this famous ball that it's a bit like dirty right now. So, but I'm a bit ashamed to show you that on camera because it's dirty, but it's the ball of my first name. So, and then also the passing of my dear friend Axel, the 6th of December of last year. And sadly, we don't know when we are going to leave this world, either by the lack of our body to continue our path, like could be heart attack, cancer, or because an accident or anything else. So thank you again. And LinkedIn user, I'm going to check who you are because I would like to thank you. Your pronunciation in Italian is excellent. Complimenti di Firenze. Grazie mille. Vado a cercare. Ok, Cecilia Di Piero. Grazie mille. L'italiano è la lingua del mio cuore. Italian is very the language of my heart. And so that was the first poem from Dorothy Auger. And then I am going to quote another poem, and I will share also the link. But I wonder if I'm going more to share. I think I'm going to share it because it's another poem. Yes, I'm apologize for not sharing on screen the poem of Dorothy Auger. I will. Yes, Cecilia, thank you so much. Dignante, con piacere. And I will share the link of Dorothy Auger after that. But right now I'm going to share the second poem that I'm going to recite. And this is If from Rudyard Kipling. I'm going to zoom it. Whoops, sorry. I cannot do two things at the same time. So zoom it. First, I'm going to quote it in English, and then I'm going to quote it in French. So it's also a story in itself. Just checking. Yes, I am live. So and audible, and it's If from Rudyard Kipling, and it's a poem I had to learn by heart. Probably more than 36 years ago, when I was at the secondary school, from a French teacher who was pivotal for me to choose French and language coaching more than 5 years ago. And it's not only about the anecdote of the poem that is amazing, whether it's in English or in French, but it's also because I had to learn this poem by heart, and I had to write it, and it was like like half was filled, and the other half was blank to fill the gap. And I made at that time 6 mistakes, and he gave me a score of 194 over 20 of appreciation. And my French teacher was also telling critical thinking. So I'm going to quote it in English, in French, and I was not envisioning it. Maybe I can find it in Italian also, and we'll quote it in Italian. We are on the hour 22, and I think it will be another time in Italian because I want to end this session at last 10 minutes maximum. So if you can keep your head when all about you are losing their and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. Sorry, doubting. If you can and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knave to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your wings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings. and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you will be a man. If from Rudyard Kipling. And so, here is no other version in mind. Si tu peux voir détruit l'ouvrage de ta vie, et sans dire un seul mot te mettre à rebâtir, ou perdre en un seul gain de 100 parties, sans un geste et sans un soupir, si tu peux être amant sans être fou d'amour, si tu peux être fort sans cesser d'être tendre, et te sentant haï sans haïr à ton tour, pourtant lutter et te défendre, si tu peux supporter d'entendre tes paroles travesties par des gueux pour exciter des sots, et d'entendre sur toi leur bouche folle, sans mentir toi-même d'un mot, si tu peux rester digne en étant populaire, si tu peux rester peuple en conseillant les rois, et si tu peux aimer tous tes amis en frères sans qu'aucun d'eux soit tout pour toi, si tu sais méditer, observer et connaître, sans jamais devenir sceptique ou destructeur, rêver, mais sans laisser ton rêve être ton maître, penser sans n'être qu'un penseur, si tu peux être dur sans jamais être en rage, si tu peux être brave et jamais imprudent, si tu sais être bon, si tu sais être sage, sans être moral ni pédant, si tu peux rencontrer triomphe après défaite et recevoir ces deux menteurs d'un même front, si tu peux conserver ton courage et ta tête quand tous les autres les perdront, alors les rois, les dieux, la chance et la victoire seront à tout jamais tes ennemis. Et ce qui vaut mieux que les rois et la gloire, tu seras un homme, mon fils. That was the poem of Rudyard Kipling, Tu seras un homme, mon fils. Mais en fait, they translated that, but I was learning si from Rudyard Kipling because it's if. Then last but not least, before I take congé of you, before I say good night, I am going to quote another another text in French and in English. Let me first share to you the prayer from Saint Francis of Assisi, Peace Prayer. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it giving that we receive, and it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. And so here is no version in French. Prière pour la paix, attribuée à Saint François d'Assise. Seigneur, fais de moi un instrument de ta paix. Là où est la haine, que je mette l'amour. Là où est l'offense, que je mette le pardon. Là où est la discorde, que je mette l'union. Là où est l'erreur, que je mette la vérité. Là où est le doute, que je mette la foi. Là où est le désespoir, que je mette l'espérance. Là où sont les ténèbres, que je mette la lumière. Là où est la tristesse, que je mette la joie. Ô Seigneur, que je ne cherche pas tant à être consolé qu'à consoler, à être compris qu'à comprendre, à être aimé qu'à aimer. Car c'est en se donnant que l'on reçoit, c'est en s'oubliant qu'on se retrouve soi-même, c'est en pardonnant que l'on obtient le pardon, c'est en mourant que l'on ressuscite à la vie. Amen. So that's it. Let me know in the chat how are you. So thank you also, Adrian, for joining. Feel free also for the replay team to comment what are your thoughts. And thank you also. Yes, this prayer is amazing. So in this session, the first part was quoting, speaking, I don't know the synonyms in English, but I think quoting is okay as reciting. The poem of Dorothy Auger, We Shall Stand for Love, in English and in French. Then the poem of If, from Rudyard Kipling, See, and you will be a man, my son, et tu seras un homme, mon fils. And then the third part was the prayer, could be also a poem, but I say a prayer, of Saint Francis of Assisi. That was prayer for peace. Tomorrow, 23rd of March, I will continue this cycle of poetry. I know that I could introduce other things, but I think it's about giving value. And for this time, I will also quote 2 other poems and also making the translation in Italian from the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi, and also the poem of Rudyard Kipling. So, what are your thoughts, my friend? Let me know in the comment in the chat. I am now going to tell about my next steps. But first, before that, I am going to drink some water. Because it's the day of water. And obviously, this is not water. This is milk. But I love it because it's a special liquid. It's a veggie, kind of a veggie milk. So I am live. So thank you so much for bearing with me. And by the way, I'm going to stop my share right now because it's done, the share. And because so that I can show you the magic of having an incredible thing. So I suggest to you kefir. That's really, I love it so much. So I was telling 1 or 2, 3 days ago, it was milk. So lait in French. So tomorrow, other poems. Today, I'm really blessed because today I was having an amazing movie film through Jessica. Jessica, who was the friend of Dorothy, and that I've met since the World Building Expo. It was a delight to see her and go brunch. And also a bit earlier today, I was being gifted my first special session from Claudio in Go Brunch. I'm really stoked and in awe about what I'm living because it was unexpected. And even earlier, I was organizing myself the Go Brunch Expo Drama Party. Like I'm really punny. I love to play with words, to bake pancakes, and it was like pajama. But I was not in pajama because it was already afternoon. But for them in US, it was probably pajama time. So Expo, World Building Expo, Expo Jama, and there was not so much people, but at least Mike was joining, and also Joy, and also Victoria, and it was amazing, by the way, to be with them. And this will happen each Saturday. So because I wanna keep the frame of the World Building Expo and not wait until June for the next amazing gatherings of the expo. So that's why I was deciding on my own to do that. So today was amazing, and then also beforehand having a session from Rachel in language coaching, from teacher to coacher, about the benefits of being a coach rather than to be a teacher. Teachers are needed, but teachers has to adapt because this world is really boring. Yesterday, it was also incredible reflections about the neuroscience of difficult conversations and also best career co-working. So that is going to end soon, but he's going to continue in a paid version. It was for free for 2 or 3 months. So what a blessing. And aside that, I don't see any other news except that on Monday, I am going to have my third session of the FIG group, French Igniters group, about languages. And Adrian will be there, hopefully. And I'm really happy because I'm running these groups for people to be able to learn and improve French. And we are organizing with Joy. And right now, I can also decide to share my space because I was also having the booth during the World Building Expo. And so I am going to quickly show my Go Brunch room right now. Share my screen. And here is my Go Brunch room. ReFrenchYourBrain is a bit overloaded. I'm going to be more smooth. But as you see, I'm loving so much playing with visuals. Hope you can see my screen. Yes, and so it's really incredible because I'm stoked about what is possible to Go Brunch, and I was deciding to update my room a bit like before my expo, and it will be improving during the next hours or days. So with videos, you can click videos and use my special panda vibes to discover other rooms, including there is a FIJ group, FIG French Igniters group each Monday. Then there is a All League group, or LIG, All Your Languages Igniters group on Wednesday. And also I organize each day of the week, and probably other time, each day of the week at 5 a.m. my time, which is a bit earlier for me, but it's late night for US. And I organize that Café du Bien. And look at the sky. That's why I'm really stoked about Go Brunch, because you can customize it at your leisure, and there is even more possibilities. Like I was thinking, let's say, I wonder if I will see that I'm going to share to you my online friends from Go Brunch. And by the way, I don't want to disturb people, but here you can also discover one of my favorite other place, the Come Right In. This is incredible. This is a space where people are gathering. I wonder if RJ is there. Yes, are there and band are there, and this is the co-working time. So I'm really blessed about the possibilities of Go Brunch. Look at that. Like, oops, sorry. So I'm going to close the room right now because they are talking. So, but that's really amazing. You can explore Go Brunch at your leisure. So feel free to discover Go Brunch, by the way. So now I'm going to stop my share. And so it's really amazing. So that's my good vibes. See you tomorrow for the version in Italian of the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi and the version in Italian of the poem If from Rudyard Kipling. See you on Monday for the FIG group, FIG, French Igniters group. See you on Wednesday for OLIC group, Other Languages Igniters group, where everyone who is learning any other language than French can learn French. I hope that I was audible. Yes. And and then also the Café du Bien each day at 5 a.m. my time, which is probably midnight EST. I know it's late, but it's 9 p.m. PST. But in less than 9 days, I will be back to daily saving time. So it will be again 6 hours EST from my time instead of 5 hours right now because yeah. So I thank you so much for watching me and the replay team, and feel free to support me, not this time, but this side, because this is pay me a coffee. I'm pouring so much love and so much value to you in French, in other languages. Languages are my passion, but at the same time, I will be really happy to offer a way for you to support me. So feel free to click, scan the QR code, go to the link, my and to buy me a coffee. It's really appreciated because right now I'm a bit like paddling and having some uncertainties about my finances, but I'm really happy to help. So I also offer, so aside these two group sessions, FIG and OLIG, I also offer individual sessions and also ways for you to tap into your creativity and also poetry. And so I have multiple occasions for serving you. Feel free to use them. And grazie. Buonanotte, Cecilia. E grazie mille. Alla prossima volta, a domani o alla prossima settimana. Grazie. Obrigado. Teşekkür. Dankeschön. Tak. Kiitos. Arigato. And sayonara. Keep shining, everyone.